So once again, Dave Meltzer came out with two reports that both of them are lies. Again, Dave Meltzer talked about TNA Wrestling and who is the head of creative. We're going to be talking about that also. A promotion that AEW is working, but some AAA wrestlers cannot appear on the same show if that CMML wrestlers are there. So we're going to be talking about that. And we're going to be talking about what is The Rock's role in the Bloodline. We're going to be talking about that and much more with Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Let's get this.
Is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One. And I'm back with another episode. This week, we're going to be talking about Dave Meltzer and his two reports. They're a bunch of lies, if you want to talk about it. Let's start off with Dave Meltzer's first report. He came out and said that Tommy Dreamer is going to be head of creative for TNA Wrestling. This report came in early Friday as he reported that Tommy Dreamer was going to be head of creative. When I heard this, I said to myself, oh boy, Tommy Dreamer, head of creative. Not that Tommy Dreamer has never been in head of creative or any part of creative, because he's been in creative behind the scenes of TNA Wrestling. Also, he was part of creative when Paul Heyman had ECW. He had part of it. So did the Dudleys had part of that. So, it was, the way they booked it back then, ECW was mostly, hardcore, pushing the envelope and doing certain things. But Dave Meltzer came out with this report. I was like, wow, I'm like, TNA's in trouble. I still think TNA is in trouble because I just heard that Eric Nordholm, who was the president of TNA back in the days before Scott D'Amore took over that role, he's left the company. So he was part of bringing in the big talent, all the name talents, like guys like Jay White, the Gorillas of Destiny from Japan, and many others. He's gone. So, but when I heard that Tommy Dreamer was going to be head of creative, I got concerned. Because I'm like, oh, we're going to be watching TNA Wrestling. We might as well call it TNA Extreme Wrestling. Because Tommy Dreamer might go and make this hardcore. But Tommy Dreamer went out of his way and reported this. And to set the record straight at Busted Open Radio, he said, and just to set the record straight, because Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer reported Tommy Dreamer was the new head of TNA Wrestling created after the dismissal of Scott D'Amore, right? So he came back and said, I'm so glad, people know things about my life that I don't know. Everything staying intact of how it was before with myself, Robert Evans, and Delirious. There are no changes. I want you to hear what I just said. There are no changes. Purposely made sure that was a thing. Whoever reported about stuff in my life, thank you. But as someone who has been doing the same stuff the entire time I've been there, nothing has changed. Again, he reported a second time. Nothing has changed. Thanks for the promotion. I hope I get a raise. If I was head of creative, Moose is losing the title to me at the next show. Book myself on top, brother, he said. And then he reiterated, it's the same deal as before. Nothing has changed within the creative process. Now, I don't know where the hell did Mr. Dave Meltzer got this report from. And I've been saying this for quite about 3 years already, especially when I first heard Dave Meltzer fumble the ball, if we could say that. We're going to use football terminology. He fumbled the ball back in 2020 when he reported that Moose had signed with TNA Wrestling. This is during his contract year. Moose came back a couple of weeks later and said that that report was a lie. He has not signed anything. There you go. That goes to show you that was my biggest red flag when I saw that. Okay, the biggest red flag. When a talent says, no, it's a lie, that goes to show me that Dave Meltzer is reporting stuff because it's his opinion. It's not facts. And he's been doing this for the last 3 years. Here's the problem I have with that is when he reports stuff, you got people in Facebook, you got people on Twitter that grab that report and make it viral. Basically, you're making a false report viral, which then create all this damn tribalism that's been going on in the wrestling community for the last 3 years, ever since AEW was born. And you got all this tribalism, and you got all these people making comments that don't make no sense. Their feelings are getting hurt and whatnot. And it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit what Dave Meltzer does. He goes and does reporting that is not true and whatnot. So that TNA report was not true. So right now, as it looks, like I said, Eric Nolan left. Scott D'Amore got fired. We don't know who's going to be head of creative. Who's going to be in charge of all this? Okay. Right now, as the latest report that came out, I think was Wednesday night that I saw, the talent sent a letter to the bigwigs in Anthem, showing support for Scott D'Amore and what they're all about. That they are family. TNA Wrestling is a family. And basically, what I'm gonna say right now, Anthem, they got their hands full. Because basically what they're showing is they don't put money into TNA Wrestling. So you're not going to get that fan base to come back to you. And especially what you just did, you got rid of Scott D'Amore. If you was in the 100,000 mark of viewers Thursday night, it's going to be worse. You're going to drop because people are going to see the quality of the wrestling. It's not going to be the same. There's no way in the world you could tell me that Scott D'Amore not being there. I don't care if they got Gail Kim. I don't care if they got Dusty Rose come back from death and he becomes the booker. It's not going to be the same. Okay. And not only that, they're going to lose Moose when his contract is over. And I'm going to say that because he made it clear he really don't need money. Okay. Chris Van Fleet had an interview with him. He said he doesn't need the money. He made his money in football. Okay. So it's not about money. It's about being comfortable in a promotion that he feels that is like a family. Scott D'Amore was like a little brother to him, or a big brother to him. He said it was a big brother, little brother relationship. It was like a mentor, and he trusted Scott D'Amore. So with this going on, TNA is in trouble because if they don't put the type of programming and the type of show, and the pay-per-views, you're not going to get it. And right now they have plans. Scott D'Amore had plans to bring TNA Impact to the Hammerstein Ballroom here in New York City and whatnot. The next pay-per-view, they're going to bring it here. And now they're going to do another show in Vegas again. I think it's No Surrender, one of those shows. But they're not doing it in New York. I'll tell you right now, they're going to lose a lot. And I see them next year. And matter of fact, like I said, 10 months from now, they'll still be at this point where they are now, maybe lower. But Dave Meltzer's report about Tommy Dreamer was a lie. Another report that came up, which I want to bring up, was the situation with AEW and CMML. Now, as the last couple of weeks, we've seen CMML wrestlers show up at AEW. Right now, they're kind of feuding with the Blackpool Combat Club and AEW wrestlers. And the report was from Dave Meltzer was, according to the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, any AEW program that CMML talent appears on can contain no other Mexican talent. CMML has a long-standing rivalry with AAA wrestling, but the report states that it doesn't matter if the report, it doesn't matter if the Mexican talent is with AAA or not. They cannot wrestle on the same AEW show that CMML talent are on. However, Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful Select said that was a fucking lie. See what I'm talking about? It was a lie. Okay. And the reports are to be untrue. Sources tell Fightful that the Wrestling Observer News report is false. Okay. And their commander appeared on January 31st episode AEW Dynamite the same night. There were CMML talent on the show. Top AEW stars Penta Zero Miller was set to appear on AEW program, but ran into some travel issue. Dave Meltzer said that he showed up at the arena and they told him they couldn't use him because there were CMML wrestlers in the building on the show. Now, do you guys still going to continue to post his bullshit Wrestling Observer newsletter reports on Facebook and on Twitter and actually send that shit viral and we all know this shit is a lie? Because you guys continue to keep doing this. It's like the tribalism, the false reportings, the wannabe journalists on Facebook and on Twitter. It's just ridiculous. People jump on the first report. It happened this week when Brandon Cutler went on X and said that Eddie Kingston and Adam Copeland were rubbing people in the back the wrong way. Automatically, people say, oh, Adam Copeland was better off in WWE and this and this and that. And it turns out it's part of a fucking storyline. You see what I'm talking about? People jump the gun. The first reports they see, they go and jump and they don't do no research. Do no research. And then those who has the little podcast at it, then all day, every day on the damn podcast and whatnot, talking shit about WWE and all nonsense and talking this. This is what they do. They jump the first report all because they want to get clicks and likes and views on YouTube instead of doing your research. It's all about research. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense, stupidity. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you guys keep believing Dave Meltzer, the Cultaholics, the Wrestling Inc., Nick Hausman. These guys are all catching y'all for clicks. And you're all believing from it. I love how a couple of months ago, in the month of October and November, they were, oh my God, Monday Night Raw is going to be on Warner Brothers Media or Warner Media or whatever. And AEW is going to get kicked out. What happened to that? They went to Netflix. WWE made a deal with Netflix. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you got people, and there's people still supporting Vince McMahon, even though all the fucking evidence is there. See what I'm talking about? It's like people just don't care. People just want to talk shit on the IWC and don't want to do research when these stories, especially we got like Dave Meltzer. Okay. He talks on opinion, not on facts, whether he got connections or not. Okay. He talks about facts. And again, I'm not a big Tommy Dreamer fan, but I'm glad he straightened the whole situation up because people like to talk. People like to hear rumors. People love spreading rumors in the wrestling industry, in the wrestling community and whatnot without no legs. No legs. Okay. And like I said a couple of weeks ago, people, oh, you want to act like a reporter. I'm not a reporter. I'm giving you my opinion. I'm giving you my outlooks. I'm giving you my feedback. That's not reporting. Okay. I'm telling you what's common sense. And most of y'all don't want to use common sense. This society doesn't use common sense, especially when it comes to wrestling. They don't use common sense. It's ridiculous. The other topic I want to talk about is The Rock's potential impact on the Bloodline. Now, this don't make sense to me at all. And I'm going to tell you why. The Rock came in with the intentions to challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal World title. Now, Cody went and decided that, he was going to give up his title shot or his Royal Rumble and WrestleMania moment to The Rock. What's funny is then a couple of days later, or almost a week later, he decided he wanted to challenge Roman Reigns. He got slapped up or bitch slapped by The Rock. And then came Monday night, never explained why he was giving up his title shot to give it to The Rock. No explanation at all. Then to make things more crazy and more insane, we saw on SmackDown how The Rock showed up and now it's part of the Bloodline. Now, isn't it weird that okay, you got Roman Reigns head of the table, the tribal chief, and now The Rock is part of that, like he just following the tribal chief. So all I could think of the possibilities, I'm gonna say the possibilities of The Rock going to turn on Roman Reigns. Okay, somewhere down the line, and it's gonna happen after WrestleMania. I believe The Rock is gonna cost Roman Reigns the world title, and Cody's gonna win the title and finish his story. Now, the one thing that I did not agree with was when he said, I don't know who wrote this freaking promo, but he said, I don't understand why Cody's getting another title shot when he lost to Roman Reigns last year. Well, I guess somebody forgot to tell the Rock that Cody is getting another title shot because he won the Royal Rumble again. And that's what happens when you win the Royal Rumble. You get to choose who you want to challenge for the world title. So I guess somebody forgot to tell The Rock, because that promo last night when he said, he mentioned, when the 49ers lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, the 49ers didn't say, let me get another title shot. Let me get it, they went home and dealt with it. So the crazy part is, it's nuts. Because in my head, I'm saying to myself, why? Why are you even putting that why he's getting a title? Because he won the Royal Rumble. But, it is what it is. The way I'm looking at it, I think he's going to turn on Roman somewhere down the line. Then he's going to take over being the tribal chief. Roman's going to get kicked out of the Bloodline. I'm seeing, that's what I'm seeing right now. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason he might get kicked out is because you think about it. We're talking about The Rock. The Rock has been in the business. He won many world title shots, won plenty of world titles. So he's going to take over. It's probably bound to happen. It might happen after WrestleMania. But I just didn't like that promo he did. Talking about Cody shouldn't get another title shot. I don't know who wrote this, but it didn't make no sense. At the end of the day, it's still confusing because we don't know what The Rock is doing for WrestleMania. We don't know. Still up for grabs. We don't know. It's still, the confusion's still there. Hopefully they'll fix it after the Elimination Chamber or whatever it is. So we'll see. That is it for me today, guys. If you guys want to follow me again on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell for new uploads. Hit that thumbs up. That will help the channel greatly. Also, check out my podcast store, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report podcast store at tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. And check out the website where you go get to see the shirts, t-shirts, and the hoodies and the hats in there and whatnot. And check it out and share it with your friends. You can even register to the website if you guys like and whatnot. And you get to see all the episodes of the YouTube channel right now, because my audio podcast right now is down at the Spotify. I decided to wipe out all my podcasts out of Spotify for no untold reason, but you still could get my audio podcast through Apple and whatnot, and I think Amazon Music still has it up unless the stuff is not working. I don't know, but I know it's still on Apple, so you guys could check that out. So that is it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for supporting the podcast. I will see you guys next week with more the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.